1st of September 2001, a date that will stay with all England fans forevermore. The venue, Munich, for a crucial World Cup qualifier between Germany and England. The Germans had won the previous encounter at Wembley, the last game as manager for Kevin Keegan, and poignantly, the last beneath the famous Twin Towers. England had to wreak their revenge. Going into the match, Sven-Göran Eriksson's side had a game in hand, but was 6 points behind the Germans. Defeat would mean automatic qualification for Germany, who were so confident they'd even booked international friendlies on the dates set for the playoff matches. They could point to a 28-year unbeaten record in Munich and the fact they'd only lost 1 out of 60 World Cup qualifiers. But could England be their nemesis? Match commentary comes from Trevor Brooking and firstly John Motson.
Good evening, everybody. And the stadium that I'm sure is familiar to many of you there. And the match, well, it seems to get bigger every time they meet, doesn't it? Whether it's been Munich, Wembley, Turin, Charleroi, or even Mexico. Over the last 35 years, England versus Germany has set the pulses racing, brought the flags out, revived some rich memories, and occasionally caused the teacups to topple off the table. So those of you watching at home tonight, be careful with the crockery. Having said that, there's no shortage of England colours here in Munich's Olympic Stadium tonight, with 5,500 official ticket holders segregated away to our right. They've bought their tickets through the England Fans Organisation, which is now the restyled Members Club. But a lot more have travelled after obtaining tickets from other sources, and the black market prices have actually reached up to £150, both in England and in Germany. That's as against the £11 that was paid by some of the official ticket holders. But it's a good atmosphere, and it's a stadium which has plenty of history, even though it was only opened in 1972 for the Olympic Games here. Germany won the World Cup. I remember sitting in this almost the same seat in 1974. And Holland won the European Championship here in 1988. Perhaps worth mentioning, Trevor, while we're on that subject, congratulations to the Republic of Ireland today.
That is a fantastic result, and you know, they deserve all the plaudits. After that game against certainly England, you thought Holland are going to be tough to beat, and to actually go there and win 10 men in the end was fantastic. Well done to Mick McCarthy and everyone.
Now we turn our attention to this evening's encounter, and England will be playing in their first choice white strip. Germany will be wearing green. Referee leading them out is a good omen for us, I think, Pierluigi Collina, because he was at Charleroi to see Alan Shearer get that winning goal and to officiate that night. And he also took charge, if I'm not mistaken, of Manchester United versus Bayern Munich in the final of the Champions League. So sit back and enjoy it. Sure he intends to, fitness permitting. Well, what a big night it is for Sven-Göran Eriksson. As we've said in the studio, if England could get a win here, it would boost so much morale and confidence in this man, who's made such a good start as it is. 5 wins out of 6. was nice of her to repeat the chorus. And you saw the England supporters holding up their cards, which have been carefully prepared. Background noise there, but it didn't faze the singer and it didn't faze Rudi Völler, the German coach who took over after Euro 2000. No real qualifications, but he, rather like Eriksson, has revived an awful lot of belief in the national team. And talking of the teams, I'm sure by now you know the England lineup, but let's have a look at the Germans first, because Rudi Völler is able to field 7 of the side that won at Wembley last October. 2 of the other 4 are injured and 1 is suspended. Oliver Bierhoff is on the bench, but there are 3 Bayern Munich players on their home ground. The captain and goalkeeper Oliver Kahn, the defender there, Linke at the back, who Alan was talking about with Nowotny, and Jancker, Carsten Jancker, the tall number 9, who Peter Reid mentioned. He's up front with Neuville. Jancker also plays for Bayern Munich. Dietmar Hamann of Liverpool there in midfield, who scored what proved to be the last Wembley goal. He wins his 34th cap tonight. But Tottenham's Christian Ziege, the most cap player in the German squad, is only on the bench. Jörg Böhme there from Schalke is preferred at left back. And talking of the match at Wembley, when of course Kevin Keegan was the England coach, there are 5 survivors in the England team, including David Seaman, back in goal shortly before his 38th birthday, and Nick Barmby, who fills that problematic left-sided position, with Emile Heskey chosen up front with Owen. And they'll be asked to repeat their assault on Bayern last Friday. Campbell and Ferdinand renew their defensive partnership, and at right back, Gary Neville, preferred to his brother Phil, wins his 46th cap, 2 ahead of the captain David Beckham, whose fitness is still a matter for some discussion, Trevor.
It is. I must say I'm delighted to see him out there leading the team. I think the big test will be very early on. He'll probably play some short early balls, 10, 15-yarders. It's when he tries to hit a long cross-field pass, or perhaps there's a free kick, a set-piece corner kick that he wants to put in one of those crosses, or a free kick, and that will be the test then from a standing ball. But we all hope that he will get through the 90 minutes, but I must say it probably is a gamble. Let's see how he goes.
Certainly a word of praise for the 2 physios, Gary Lewin and Alan Smith, who've worked on David Beckham virtually non-stop since last Monday. They've got him fit to start, and on the right there is one of the German strikers, Oliver Neuville from Leverkusen. Only scored 1 international goal so far in his 26 appearances, and he'll be up front there with the tall man, Carsten Jancker. Germany, as I say, playing in green. So where will this stand in the archives, in the long history of football between these 2 countries? What are we going to see to add to that tremendous history, which goes right back before the war, but most people seem to think of 1966 when they think of England-Germany. So on that optimistic note, I think we can start the game, Mr. Collina. Number 10 for Germany is Sebastian Deisler, who we think will probably play the more attacking role in midfield, Trevor.
Yeah, I think he's the one to sort of be the creative element. No Scholl, of course, and a lot of expectancy in this player. They've sort of been building up a Beckham-like figure for the last 2 or 3 years. He played superbly against Hungary in their last game, and gets a lot of weight of expectation on him.
When that first ball went out of play, they didn't bother to get it back. They put another one on the pitch straight away. So on the far side is Wörns for the Germans. And Sol Campbell here with the telling interception. There was a flag up for offside, but it didn't matter. Great atmosphere, even though the crowd are quite a long way away from the pitch in this stadium. This is Böhme. And number 4 is Linke. Beckham trying to close him down. That was on by Michael Ballack, number 8. One of the younger German players. And they're trying to get Michael Owen going. Here's Beckham. And he put his foot in there on Böhme. Twice, in fact, David Beckham.
He didn't hold back there. Good to see Michael Owen just trying to get down those sort of sidelines there, because, you know, 3 at the back, you've got to try and isolate one of the markers, 1 against 1. The ball then broke for this pair, and he almost just fell in front of David Beckham, but the whistle had gone before then.
Just wonder how offensive Germany are prepared to be and how cautious they may be tempted to be, because 2 draws would see Germany safely there. They play Finland in Gelsenkirchen in their last match on the day that England play Greece. That's October the 6th, but bear in mind England have Albania coming to Newcastle this Wednesday.
Just a little opening. Deisler was the one who got possession, and Gerard is sort of be detailed to keep an eye on him. He then scurried back and got the challenge in, and Gary Neville then brought David Seaman into kicking it clear. But they're the 2 that Gerard is going to be conscious of from a defensive point of view. But if there's the opportunity is there, also you want Steven Gerrard powering forward.
We certainly do. It's Sol Campbell wearing 6 and Gary Neville with the ball. There was a little speculation about which of the Nevilles would be at right back. Some people thought that Phil might get the vote because he played well in Greece, but Gary is the more experienced of the 2. Dietmar Hamann gets Germany moving in midfield, and they get a free kick. That was a foul by Gerard on Deisler. The number 3, Böhme, has a very good left foot. He's standing just behind Oliver Neuville. Rehmer is up on the far side of the penalty area. Jancker is a danger man on situations like this. He made the early run, and it was turned out for a corner. Sol Campbell.
That was good defended. Good free kick. Left footer coming away from goal. Seaman can't really come for it. Sol Campbell wants to make sure nobody behind him comes in on it. Does very well. Good defensive header.
Janker's at the near post having a push and shove with Ferdinand. Collina's seen it. It's Böhme to take the corner. And Neuville goes into that near post position as well. Wörns is forward, and it's too long for Rehmer. It was overhit the corner. England able to regroup.
Yeah, looks of just the 2 set pieces. He knocks in a good pacey ball. That one cleared everyone. Certainly then Nowotny, Linke, Wörns all up. They've got some big headers at the ball, of course, Jancker in particular. So if they get the delivery right, England you know, will be stretched, I think, in that department.
Well, Gerrard anxious to get on the ball. That's his swinging pass out to the left-hand side, where we expect to find Nick Barmby, number 11. That was a range, shows the range of his passing, Steven Gerrard. Ashley Cole at left-back for England again. The young Arsenal player. It's his 5th consecutive international. This is Rehmer for Germany, looking for Jancker. Header there was by Linke. Germans weren't quite sure where they were going for a moment there, but they appear to be now. This is Deisler to Jancker. Neuville ahead of him. Beckham for England. Böhme. Gerrard. Rehmer's making a run over on the right-hand side, but this is Hamann on the ball. To Nowotny. Wörns. Ballack. No hurry to come forward there, were they? Hamann now sees an opportunity to put Ballack in possession. And Neuville to Jancker! It's a goal for Germany! And it's Carsten Jancker! Only 6 minutes gone. And the Bayern Munich player strikes first on his own ground. The build-up was slow at first, but suddenly they exploded from midfield. It's Michael Ballack who plays the ball through to Oliver Neuville. The header on has England standing around, really, and Jancker prods it home.
That was great build-up. Well, look at Neuville, backpedaling, gets behind Rio Ferdinand, who picks up the rung of Sol Campbell, doesn't watch Jancker. You've got to say they were both ball-watching central defenders, and it's a very simple goal. Well worked, but it was a soft one.
Jancker, who had one kicked off the line in Charleroi, I remember. There was nobody there to do that tonight. And he did find some space, worryingly, among the England defenders. Now here's Gary Neville to Beckham. Scholes. Gerrard tries to get Scholes in on this side of the penalty area. Ball's going to run out. Well, that's a blow, Trevor.
Well, we talk about the aerial skill of Jancker, but this time it was on the floor. And little Neuville, a small striker, gets between Cole and Rio Ferdinand. Jancker just strides in, a little prod, and as I say, almost with the sole of his boot, wasn't it? It wasn't his toe, just wanted to keep it down, and all it needed was to beat Seaman, and it trickled in the empty net. But good build-up play. I've got to say, Hamann was a key player in the build-up play. He must have got involved 3 or 4 times. Gradually, then he released it through to Ballack, and then clipped it into Neuville. And Hamann just sitting in front of their 3 at the back is a key player. Here he comes across to plug up any gaps that are then created.
Carsten Jancker scoring there his 6th international goal on his 19th appearance. This is Böhme. It was Hamann, of course, who scored at Wembley, wasn't it? And here he is now in the role of creator. Linke. Well, anybody who's joined the match late is in for a shock. This is a difficult time for Sven-Göran Eriksson's men. Here's Deisler. Oh, and he's offside. He's offside, Oliver Neuville. A lot of German supporters didn't see the flag at first. They thought they were going to see the second goal.
It was close. He's doing well. Look, he's just getting between Rio Ferdinand and Ashley Cole. He's just half a yard off, but he's just tucking himself in between the fullback and the central defender, and they've got to be talking.
Here's David Beckham now, with Heskey waiting in the middle. Owen's coming in as well, and Oliver Kahn makes an unorthodox save. That was certainly a frightening moment for the Germans, but this is Neuville again. This promises to be quite an attacking game, I reckon. Marko Rehmer on the far side. Deisler. Hamann. Germans are playing the 3 at the back and the wing-back system. Rehmer is the right wing-back, number 7, and Böhme, number 3, is the left. Every pass being cheered by 60,000 Germans. Michael Ballack joins the attack. He's trying to get Neuville through. The flag went up again there. There was an offside.
They're keeping the ball superbly in the opening 10 minutes. And again, Hamann, a key player in that build-up play. This is the one he comes out. It's about the 3rd time that he got involved. Plays it to Ballack. A lot of space there for Ballack to look up, pick out Neuville. And yes, just a little nod down in between the 2. And very soft goal.
Well, it's not the start the English were hoping for.
I thought Kahn did well for the counter-attack just now for David Beckham, the early cross, because defender went in, could easily have been an OG if it had just caught the end of his toe. He missed out the first man, and Kahn kept his concentration and cleared it with his foot.
Yes, because Heskey and Owen were both in attendance there. Hamann to Neuville, and Deisler looks for Carsten Jancker again. He's putting himself about Jancker, and he's unsettling Ferdinand and Campbell. There is no question about that. It was a point that Peter Reid brought up before the game. He is a handful.
He's a handful, but the ball initially again came through Hamann. I think they've got to start looking at perhaps either to get one of the strikers, whether it be Heskey and Owen, or pushing Scholes in further to stop him getting the ball. He at the moment is the focal point for all the German play, whether he receives it off the back three or one of the midfield players alongside him.
And somebody's got to get to grips with him, haven't they? This is Gerard looking for Owen. Well, the free kick's been given. It was Deisler who pushed his elbow in the back of Owen there. Silly place to give away a free kick.
Well, it's ridiculous. Mike was going to find it very difficult to do anything with that. Now David Beckham over on that side. No doubt curling it in towards the goal. Now can England hit back?
Gerard is standing just behind Scholes. And Sol Campbell is up. Beckham takes. Gerard waiting here. Oh, there's Campbell getting in first. Now it's come all the way back to Neuville. Now, are they offside? No, they're not. There's a chance of an equaliser here, and they've done it. Michael Owen yet again for England. It's the Germans' turn to stand like statues. And England equalise after only 12 minutes play. Kahn came out, but he was all over the place.
What a start to this game. Nick Barmby, I thought, was going to head it towards goal. Very unselfish, though. Knocked it square. Michael Owen didn't panic, composed himself and kept it down. But this good little controlled header by Gary Neville. And everyone's coming out. I think Sol Campbell and Rio Ferdinand might have been in an offside position, but they were coming out. And certainly when Nick Barmby, who eventually headed it to Michael Owen, he wasn't offside. It's a good decision, I think, by the officials. But again, Germany coming out at the wrong time. England capitalising on it. What a start.
What is Hansen going to say about this defending? 1-1, but it's a great opening to the game. Barmby. Scholes. Beckham. His free kick really starting all that. Now then, Heskey making his physical presence felt up there. He's got support behind him. Careless, wasn't it, of Deisler to give away a free kick there, but we're not complaining. He might be now, though. Rehmer.
I think, apart from it was a bad free kick to give away by Deisler, it was good to see Beckham knock in the free kick and also hit a 50-yard ball over the top for Heskey to get onto just now, which suggests that the groin at the moment he's feeling more confident about. But Michael Owen, what a run he's having. Look at them coming out. Sol Campbell is in an offside position and Rio Ferdinand at the top, but they actually don't get involved in it. It's Nick Barmby then who heads it, and Michael Owen, terrific finish, because he could easily have panicked to try to hit it early.
I think there were 3 England players in offside positions, but they were all passive, as they say now when they interpret that law. Owen was active and he was onside and he's equalised. And just for the record, it's his 11th England goal in this his 31st international. And Marko Rehmer hurt in a challenge by Ashley Cole here.
It's only his boot that's come off, but doesn't actually make contact with the ball, does he, Ashley Cole? There was a clumsy challenge and a little bit of a scissor kick. I don't think he's been shown the yellow card. I haven't seen it. He's lucky to get away with that, I think.
No, I was to keep an eye on the referee, Trevor. I don't think he did show it, although Cole is on one booking in the World Cup qualifying competition at the moment, as indeed are 1 or 2 other England players. Paul Scholes, notably, is on a yellow card. And that would mean, obviously, if they got another one in this match, they would have to miss the Wednesday night game against Albania. Gary Neville also in that situation.
I think it was absolutely crucial that England tried to get level pretty quickly. Was it 10, sort of 8 minutes after? And that was a key factor, because the Germans are great at sort of keeping the ball and wearing down the opposition.
Deisler now for Germany. Well, there are some tackles flying from both sides at the moment. Oh. Referee played a good advantage there, but he won't this time. Gerard was brought down. That was Nowotny who challenged him. But again, the referee keeps his card in his pocket. He's got a wristband on Pierluigi Collina, and sometimes when he waves his right arm, you think he is showing a yellow card. In fact, he isn't. Owen for England. Beckham. Heskey wants the ball crossed now. With a free kick. Linke this time. On Owen. Now, is this Beckham territory?
Going a bit reckless, trying to go through the forward. Not the ideal side for David Beckham, but I don't think you worry about that.
Sol Campbell has gone up to join Emile Heskey on the far side of the penalty area. Well, everybody looking at David Beckham, especially Oliver Kahn. Oh, well, that looked very close from here.
Didn't hit it as well as I'm sure he would have hoped. It almost looked as if it went through the wall. Let's see. They all jump up. Just went to the left side of them. Oliver Kahn then stuck a little bit in the middle. I wasn't too convinced it was not going to sneak in near his post. But in fact, it was going away from goal, wasn't it?
Thought he might have got there a shade late, Kahn, actually. Had it been going inside anyway. Still 1-1. Here's Jancker. Rehmer now back in action after his treatment. And that little ricochet takes the ball away from Neuville. He doesn't betray much emotion, the England coach. But he had an uncomfortable 7 minutes. Until his team got level with Michael Owen, once again proving that he is the major opportunist in the English game. That throw-in is by Gary Neville. Heskey's in there. Owen comes in again. Trouble for Germany. Hooked away in panic, really.
There's a chance. Cleared everyone, and Michael Owen, I thought, just had a half a yard, didn't quite make contact. Look, it's a good long throw. Emile Heskey then takes out the front man, and he just shins it. He actually got the opportunity to get the shot.
Here's Gary Neville with the cross, and that's testing Kahn as well. Oh, there was a push in there, I think. Was Heskey bundled over there as he came in? Gary Neville who supplied the cross, but there was certainly a bit of bumping going on in there.
Yeah, just pulled him back. Look, definitely, if that had been spotted, grabbed his arm. Good cross from Gary Neville. And at this moment, Heskey's just got the wrong side of his man Wörns, and actually he tugs him back with his arm, and then he falls over. He's got away with that.
That was a penalty offence, no question. Jancker. Böhme coming down this side. David Beckham back to challenge. Böhme's cross, the ball is out. Well, this has certainly been one of the more eventful opening 20-minute periods in an England-Germany game. The last two have finished 1-0. Germany winning at Wembley, England winning in Euro 2000. So the goal ratio already surpasses those two games. Here's Neville. To Beckham. Heskey making a run now. Owen comes short. Gerrard. Barnby trying to get in from that far side. Well, there's 63,000 is the capacity of this stadium. And the England supporters, who we think probably number around 7,000 or 8,000, slightly uplifted, I think, by the events of the last few minutes after a worrying opening. Here comes Beckham now to Owen. Heskey on the far side. Gerrard steaming forward from midfield into the middle as well. Here comes Heskey.
It's a pity, Michael Owen, they're trying to get in the early cross, just overhit it and bypassed Gerrard, who'd gone to the near post.
The referee spots there a foul by Rio Ferdinand on Jancker, which gives Germany the chance to take a quick free kick. This is Neuville. Deisler's with him here. And this is Hamann. Tries to find Jancker, looking for Ballack. England can break with Beckham. Tries to pick out Heskey, it's too long.
Yeah, it looks a bad ball, but in fact, Emile Heskey darted for the one over the top and checked and came short, but Beckham was looking down by then and knocked it over the top. Just a little bit of lack of understanding. But England must be delighted to be back all square and probably having got the equaliser, still feeling they're quite able to get that vital second.
Here's Wörns. Opening up the game a bit here to Böhme. Paul Scholes with the challenge. Nowotny. Now is Jancker offside? No, he's not. The flag stayed down and England were caught a bit there, and they may still be, because in the middle, Deisler! What a ghastly miss! Sebastian Deisler, very much the glamour boy, if you like, of German football, is given an opportunity here, which surely at international, well, you don't see those missed at this level too often.
Well, it's unbelievable. Jancker was offside when the ball was originally knocked through to him, and then again, got to say, England were caught dreadfully square.
Oh, and is the flag going to go up here? No, it's not. That would have been a goal. Michael Owen, once again, getting the other side of the last German defender.
Well, it's Wörns again, who tugged back Heskey, and I've got to say, if that's in the penalty area, I still think you should still know it was outside the original, so he's played the advantage, and then Kahn did well to come out. Michael Owen looking for the initial foul, but I think he got the advantage because it was outside the box.
Both defences looking uncomfortable here. Emile Heskey goes in first. Gerard is up there. It's been cleared by Jancker for another corner to England. Which David Beckham will take. Quick conversation between Ferdinand and Campbell there. This is Gary Neuville again. Those two central defenders have to get back now, I think. It's Ashley Cole covering. Well, England have made more of the chances, I would say, at this stage. But Germany, on the other hand, should really be in front when you think of the opportunity that Deisler had. He won't get a better chance than that.
Well, that was when he was initially offside, and ricochet then as Rio Ferdinand goes to clear, and well, just a little side foot. He tries to hit it with the instep, but anything bubbling could have got into the goal, wasn't it? It was almost a clearance, amazing miss.
Good little ball by Neuville to him, wasn't it? He couldn't have asked for it delivered better. This is Linke. Beckham looking for Owen. Oh, good effort! Well, maybe a few teacups will be trembling at the moment, because England are showing plenty of direction in attack.
There's a wonderful pass for Beckham. Nothing wrong with the groin there. 70 yards right into his stride. Wörns and Linke, the two wider of the three at the back, are being exposed for lack of pace. And again, it was Owen, confident enough now to hit it early on his left foot. This is the ball. Look at that, right between the two of them. Nowotny then, the covering player, can't cover the marker, hits it early and just goes for the near post this time.
We were talking, or Alan was, about Euro 2000 and how the Germans struggled defensively. The two of the three at the back tonight played in that game against Romania. I think Matthäus took most of the blame that day, but Nowotny and Linke, to me, they don't look as assured as they should for international defenders, and England are exposing that. This is Linke, who's injured, in fact.
I think he's concussed, probably with the chasing the pair of them are getting, but because Nowotny sort of stays pretty square to those two, you can never actually offer any cover, whereas Matthäus, when he used to play there, did play a lot deeper, I felt, as a spare man.
This is David Beckham. They're down to 10 men at the moment, Germany. Gary Neuville with the forward pass for Heskey. Beckham. This is Campbell. And now it's Ferdinand. Two goals in the first 12 minutes. There could have been more. Beckham. Scholes. Ashley Cole. Still Cole for England. It's a good little run, this. This is Nick Barmby. The injured player Linke is back on the pitch. Well, there are all sorts of mistakes being made out there. It certainly isn't cautious, is it, Trevor?
Well, I think it's very encouraging from England's point of view. I think there's a lot more confidence now since they've got level. They're passing the ball well, spreading it. The two fullbacks are the outlet, Gary Neville and Ashley Cole, always the spearmen.
Here's Cole now, right on cue.
Yeah, because what you've got are the two wing-backs, Rehmer and Böhme, for Germany. Sort of they're occupied really with Beckham and Barmby, and it means Ashley Cole and certainly Gary Neville are the outlet, and certainly they're getting a lot of the ball, and I think they're doing very well. And that piercing stare of Sven, he's, I'm sure, very confident at the moment.
Open neck of Rudi Völler. He's come a lot greyer since he was a player, hasn't he? Jancker. Völler played in that semi-final in Turin in 1990, a match in which Mr. Lineker scored for England. There goes Owen. If he carries on at this rate, he'll be up in the goal-scoring 40s, which is where Gary Lineker finished with 48. But Michael's made a terrific start to his international career.
Well, it's at the peak of his form at the moment, we said, going into this game, and he's looked it. He's caused them all sorts of problems. Once they turn the defenders round, he's getting his shirt tugged, and his pace is just causing them all sorts of worries. And then Heskey, you know, can give that equal problem. But it's the moment Michael Owen, he scored the goal, and he's looking threatening all the time.
Paul Scholes is tracking Hamann back here, and indeed England get a free kick anyway. They seem to have got to grips with Hamann a bit better in the last few minutes.
I think it's just the composure of the Germans being knocked out. While they started well, I thought they then got the goal. He was instrumental, and they're getting off the back play. Suddenly England, they got the equaliser, and they're much more confident. They're passing it around, and they're keeping the ball like this, which they weren't doing in those opening 10 or 12 minutes.
Forward by Gerard. Heskey waited to try and flick it on. Oh, and Nowotny manages to get a head to it. Oh, look at this. Michael Owen. Oh, was it a back pass? Yes, the goalkeeper can't pick that up, surely. What is Kahn doing? That's going to be a free kick to England inside the area.
Well, this was panic stations. What a pass that is, like, with the pace of Mike. Yeah, Oliver Kahn thinking to himself, well, I cannot kick this, but it definitely has to be penalised, and what a chance this is.
Well, it's somewhere near the penalty spot, and the Germans will have to go virtually on the goal line. Well, it's a very good appeal, and he's right. Now, Beckham surely is at the centre of this. The referee is taking his time because he's pacing it out. It's closer in than the penalty spot. Actually, they've got to be on the line, surely.
I've just seen where the goalkeeper is on the left of them. I thought he might be in front of them all, but they've got a wall one side and the goalkeeper the other.
There's only one thing on his mind. The arm is up for indirect, by the way, so there has to be a little touch before Beckham can strike. And he does strike! And now he lays it off. And Neuville! England players holding their heads. And a very brave block by somebody on the line.
Fantastic block. Look, he takes this right in the midriff. Last man it was, Rehmer, number 7. He's staying down, but David Beckham going high for the wall, hoping it's just going to bypass them, but they stood the line well.
Marko Rehmer, who was winded, but he's kept Germany level with that goal line clearance. The rain is starting to lash down now in the stadium as Jancker heads the ball on. This is Neuville. Deisler's on that side as well. Here he is. Ballack in the centre for Germany. Free kick. Oh, now somebody's arguing with the referee. It's Jancker, who was spoken to for dissent. although there's this spider's web roof on the Olympic Stadium, it only covers about a third of it, and we're on the open side, so no time for Trevor Brooking to put the umbrella up at this stage. We're too engrossed in the match. On by Owen. Couldn't quite latch onto that Barmby flick. Here's Böhme. This time Barmby can get the ball down and look up and see if he can pick Owen out. Not quite. Wörns. Hamann. Neuville. Germans slowing the game down again here. Just a reminder that 3 substitutes permitted out of the 7 named by each side. This is Ferdinand with the clearance. I'll just run through the England subs for you in a minute, just to let you know who we've got on the bench. Southgate, Carragher, Hargreaves, McManaman, Fowler, Andy Cole, and goalkeeper Nigel Martyn. This is Wörns. Ballack.
Patient build-up, they gave it away in the end. I think it's the first time for, what, at least 10 minutes or so that Germany have managed a bit of possession. I think England have had a very, very good spell and have looked the more threatening. Germany have panicked a bit. We saw that pass back then, and at the moment, I think it's England in the ascendancy.
I don't know what it's like at home, but it seems to have gone very quickly, that 33 minutes to me. I know there are a lot of people who've got friends round and watching the match together, so I hope you're enjoying it, because England have done OK up to now. This is Rehmer. Might have spoken too soon, but fortunately not. Scholes. And here's Becker. Böhme with Rehmer coming back from an offside position there. He just had to check. Hamann to Wörns. And Rehmer is again the runner from midfield, but it's safely out of harm's way there.
He's more of a defensive wing-back, and I think Rehmer, as I say, conscious of his defensive duty, perhaps not going to threaten too much going forward. Böhme, with his natural left foot, looks more of a threat as a left wing-back, but at the moment, the creative person, number 10, Deisler, has kept fairly quiet. He missed that chance, and it's, as I say, England turning round the German defence that is causing more of the problem.
Yes, Heskey span Linke just then as well. This is a promising German attack, though, with Hamann to Jancker. Oh, there's a bit of trouble here for England. It's going to be a free kick on the edge of the area. They're appealing to the referee, saying he dived, but Gerard is the man who's penalised. And it's his Liverpool colleague, Dietmar Hamann, who he pulls down.
I think Gerard put his hands up. He was just lulled into that, Dietmar Hamann, waiting for the challenge, just toe-ended it then a little bit further, and once there was a slight contact, wasn't that much of a bad tackle, then of course it's dangerous position now.
Yes, it is, and Böhme, the number 3, has got a sweet left foot, and from this angle I would say he's favourite to take it. He's very much the Andreas Bremer of the modern German side, who of course was a specialist in positions like these. And it is Böhme, and there's a deflection on it. It's a corner.
Well, word on the wall, stood firm enough, scratches his head, but it couldn't bypass it.
Linke has come forward, and so has Nowotny for the corner. And now others arriving. David Beckham back to do some defensive duty. Böhme comes forward again for Germany. That's a good strike.
Yeah, came inside his man well, hit it better than the free kick. outside of his left foot. Just took a deflection, didn't it, actually? And David Seaman, always pretty comfortable with it, well behind it.
England moving well again, though. It's Ashley Cole. Barmby's made a run from just across the edge of the area. Cole using that left flank well. Nowotny's was the clearance. Hamann then gets on the ball and really opens up the game here for Germany. That's a powerful run, and the Liverpool connection again, meeting head-to-head, as it were. Gerrard coming in on Hamann.
But it's really open, because Ashley Cole it was who galloped down the left flank, did very well, then just got the cross blocked, broken down. Hamann then pounced on the clearance, went past Scholes, and it was good that Gerrard was covering.
Trevor Brookings' notes getting very wet at the moment with the rain here. I must lend him a piece of the perspex that I bring to cover mine up, because otherwise the colour runs. I'm sure you're not interested in that incidental piece of information at home, but anyway, Carsten Jancker is penalised, and with 37 minutes gone, it's still 1-1. Scholes. Oh, and look at this, Gary Neville on this side of the pitch, in a lot of room. Gerrard with the cross, Heskey, Owen! And still. And it's Neville again, and Heskey comes in, good header out. Beckham. Well, there's something happening all the time in this match. Scholes with Ashley Cole outside it. And Heskey by the penalty spot. Barmby's in there again. Oh, look at that missed kick. It was Nowotny, I think. And now what's the goalkeeper going to do here? Well, he's got a free kick, but good. The Germans were all over the place there.
There was two missed kicks, weren't there? And I'm not sure Kahn was penalised there. He was very lucky to get the free kick, because it actually landed nicely for Ashley Cole. Had the shot. Look, this is the challenge. Oh, there was nothing there at all. He's actually got underneath it. He fell backwards, and by then the whistle has gone. But it was two missed kicks in defence, a real skyer in the end that Kahn had to come out for.
Sol Campbell and Rio Ferdinand there, just working out who's going to take the ball and who's going to drop off. And it was Ferdinand who made the challenge. This is Scholes now, looking for Owen. They do look exposed, Germany, when England play that through ball. Owen is just the man to get on the other end of those passes. The man on the ball is Ballack. Rehmer, Wörns. Now it's Deisler back to Rehmer. Jancker waiting in the centre. Neuville is there also. Germany have a corner.
Well, it's the first time that Rehmer got to the byline there. Wasn't the best of final balls. Fortunately, Rio Ferdinand cut it out. But I mean, both sides look threatening when they get sufficient players forward. And been a pulsating opening half, and it's 1-1, could have been easily more.
Böhme will take the corner for Germany. Jancker is in the 6-yard box. Rehmer is behind him. And another corner. Wörns has come up from the back, and so has Linke. Numbers 2 and 4 respectively, just inside the penalty area at the moment. Well, that's causing a little bit of nervousness, that swerving left-footed corner from Böhme. Germany have forced 3 in a row here. Goodness me. It's heart in the mouth time, isn't it?
Not enough to be a defender by the looks of it. They're just not able to deal with these balls that come in.
It's getting slippery out there too. And this time England do clear it more effectively, but not very far. Here's Böhme. It's very watchable, but it is littered with mistakes, this match. Forward by Nowotny, and that's Neuville!
There was the marking again. I mean, Neuville did very well, but look, he's knocked in there. He's on the arc of the 18-yard box. He chests it up, swivels, and hits the shot, and he doesn't get challenged. I mean, he's only fortunately got one going 26, but I think he looked very sharp this evening. Little and large, the comparison of Jancker and Neuville, but they've linked up very well and been a lot more dangerous and threatening than one would have anticipated.
Well, it's 4 minutes from half-time, and you could probably count 4 or 5 good England chances, apart from the one that was taken. Emile Heskey's got a knock. Challenged by Nowotny there.
It's got his knee, hasn't he, in the top of his thigh, old dead leg, and need a bit of the old spray on that and a bit of movement, keep it on the go. It'll be very sore tomorrow, but shouldn't be so bad that it affects him during this game.
We have to consider all the time, of course, that England have another match on Wednesday. It should be a fairly routine affair, one would have thought, on paper, at home to Albania at Newcastle, but no England player wants to miss out at the moment. And Alan Smith just escorting Emile Heskey to the touchline. And the ball is going to be returned, well, put out of play anyway in Germany's favour by Scholes, and that enables Heskey to come back on. Forward ball by Wörns to Neuville, and Sol Campbell goes across. Hamann, Scholes, Rehmer. Ballack plays it forward for Germany. And Jancker tries to get on the other end of the cross. Here's Ballack again. Rehmer. Ball really in the England half for a long time here. Deisler. And again. Jancker coming in. Oh, Siemens missed it.
Well, it's heart in your mouth stuff, isn't it? Both ends.
It really is unusual for an international match of this standard to see so many elementary mistakes. And they're not confined to one side either. Here's Owen. Barmby. Ashley Cole. Oh, he's managed to pick out Owen from that angle. He plays it into Barmby, who tries to return it to Owen. This is Barmby again. Free kick given, foot up against Barmby as we approach the last minute of the first 45 in the Olympiastadion.
Not dissimilar, I suppose, to the last time they met in Charleroi, but I think they were both poor sides, and I think both sides, from an attacking point of view, looked better and more confident and more threatening going forward, but it's still got those defensive frailties as well, both teams, which probably are the difference between them feeling they could go into the next level if they do qualify next summer.
Well, one of them certainly will do, and it looks as though the other will be in a playoff against Belarus or Ukraine.
They might fancy their chances. Haven't watched this game.
I think they meet tonight. Here's Scholes. Oh, he's played that straight to Jancker. Here's Böhme. Working the ball on that left foot again. Jancker. Böhme! Good save by David Seaman. He was alert there. It's a corner.
Fantastic save. An absolutely brilliant save. That is good 1-2. Hits it with his left foot, and that is going right in the corner. It's almost beyond him, and he's got down and skidding off the top. I think that is a fantastic save. Absolutely crucial last minute before the interval.
Linke and Nowotny have come forward for the corner for Germany. go down as one of the best saves that David Seaman has made, because it's come at a critical time, and he just previous to that failed to meet a cross. But that's the first rule, I suppose. Get that out of your mind and respond to the next challenge, and my goodness me, he did.
That was a lot of ground he had to make up there. Crucial.
We've got 2 more minutes of added time, by the way, and Seaman now can start an attack. Heskey's coming in on this. Little tug back maybe, but Deisler retains possession. Nice turn. Ballack. Not much on for him there. And his pass goes astray. Beckham, the interceptor. Ashley Cole. Gerrard. Ferdinand to Cole. A minute left in the first half. Campbell. England in no hurry this time. Beckham looking for Neuville, though. That's a good ball, and it was well collected by Gary Neuville, and here's a chance. No, there isn't. Just couldn't find Barmby. Well, as Nowotny challenged Beckham, I thought the referee was going to blow for half-time.
I think we've got time to take it.
Well, it looks as though we have. Beckham is the player here, taken out by Nowotny. And England are piling people forward in the centre here. Ferdinand's coming up. Campbell. Beckham takes, not one of his better ones, but it's a second chance for him to get the ball in. Gerrard. Oh, it's in, yes! Gerrard's shot was deflected, but it's 2-1 England! A smiling Sven, and a jubilant English end of the stadium, right on half-time. Underneath that pile of players is Steven Gerrard.
I hope he survived. What a strike this is. It's a deliberate knockback, Rio Ferdinand. Chests it down, and it's in from the minute it left his boot. Watch Rio Ferdinand as it comes in. Look, he deliberately knocks it back. He knows he's there, chests it down, and he's 30 yards out, zips off the top. What a strike from Steven Gerrard.
First sightings, I thought maybe to just brush Michael Owen as it went through, but I don't think anybody does get a touch. Barmby who nearly touched it, but it's a goal for Gerrard. It's a goal for England, and they lead Germany 2-1 in the World Cup qualifier at half-time.
What a half it's been. Fantastic performance. Steven Gerrard getting the old hand slap there. Great finish. Michael Owen's been superb. Gary Neuville and David Beckham did very well down there in the whole of the first half, but also to win that free kick one. Eventually the actual goal came from. But a terrific half. Let's make sure they can hang on to it second. Just time for me to tell you that was Steven Gerrard's first international goal on his 6th appearance for England. And that says everything, doesn't it? A first half full of incident. Germany in the lead in the 4th minute, England level after 12, and then right on half-time, at the end of stoppage time, in fact, Steven Gerrard making the half-time score. Look at those. There are a few people at home waving, I bet, as well. Half-time score in Munich, Germany 1, England 2. I think Germany are going to make a substitution at the beginning of the second half. Asamoah, who is the first black man to represent the unified Germany at this level, appears to be coming on wearing number 14. Trevor Brooking will probably tell me who's gone off. Yeah, Wörns has gone off, the number 2, one of the markers has come off. So you'll have to see how they, probably Rehmer, I think, yes, is going to go back. He's going to play the right hand of the 3, the right wing back, and so Asamoah will play on that right wing back role now in his place.
I've seen him play a couple of times. He's quick, very right-sided, so Ashley Cole may have his hands full now. And I think the rain might be relenting slightly, which is a welcome relief to those of us on the open side of the stadium. But fortunately for me, our producer, Alan Griffiths, phoned me from Munich on Wednesday and said, bring your raincoat. I'm glad I did now.
Didn't ring me.
And they've lent me a little black cap to wear as well, so I look like a hanging judge at the moment. England 2-1 up then, at the start of the second half of this World Cup qualifier. Here's Rehmer. He's gone back into Wörns' position on the right side of the three. And Asamoah getting into the game straight away. Looks for Ballack. Sol Campbell clearing. Are we going to see better defending than in the first half? I'm sure the coaches will have had something to say at half-time about it. And that was Deisler trying to fire it in from there. This is Rehmer. Germany have only lost one, as Gary said, of 60 previous World Cup qualifiers. That was 1-0 to Portugal. You saw the goal, but in fact Germany had already qualified for 1986 when they lost that match. So really, in meaningful qualifiers, they're unbeaten. And they haven't lost in this stadium since 1973. So Mr. Eriksson could well lead England to a little bit of modern history here, well, certainly will if the score stays like that.
He said records are there to be broken, and hopefully that's one that could go this evening. Even he's getting a bit animated, isn't he?
Yep. Here's Emile Heskey heading it on. Oh, and Michael Owen in again, and Kahn doesn't gather. I like that line from Mark Lawrenson calling him Oliver Kahn. He's not been at his best tonight, the German captain. Here's Asamoah. And offside, Carsten Jancker.
Yeah, that was always comfortably offside, certainly at the other end, though. Good link up, the Heskey-Owen partnership, the header going on then with his pace. And I must say, Kahn, I thought, could have just held on to it, decided to punch, and he wouldn't have known if there was any English player following up. But that pairing of Owen and Heskey still looking threatening.
It certainly is. I don't want to tempt fate, but I'm going to tell you in a moment how the group would look if England were to hold on to this lead, because it is significant. This is Scholes. We would then be 3 points behind Germany. England would have 2 games left and Germany only 1. So if all those games were won by the respective... Here comes Heskey. Not allowing me to finish. Beckham. Now, can he finish? Heskey. Oh, heads it down. Owen again. And England have gone into a 3-1 lead here in Munich. Michael Owen gets his second of the match. Oh, fantastic stuff. What a good build-up. And England start the second half in lightning fashion. It's David Beckham first of all, then there's a touch from Heskey, and look at that for a precise header down, and what about the finish, Trevor?
Well, it's a great move. Beckham does really well here. Heskey, cushion header, the partnership again, and that is a man full of confidence. He just hit it on the up, didn't hesitate, struck it well, and Kahn, although he got a hand to it, couldn't hold on to it. Bounces up. This is not easy to hit, I can assure you, and he's just pinged it sweetly, and it's got the power to beat Kahn. 3-1. What a start to the second half.
I wonder what price you get against that score before the game. And the commentator can now finish the sentence that he started before England had that attack. If England win here and then Germany and England win the remaining games, it would come down to goal difference. Well, this isn't doing us any harm in that respect, is it? Here's Barmby. Owen on a hat-trick now. Well, there must be some excited reaction back home, I would think, to what has occurred here. Beckham. Did say there could be a few teacups flying tonight, Trevor. I mean, people must be thrilled back home.
They must be up and down. Fantastic. They must have jumped out of the chairs there. It was a great, down the right-hand side, Gary Neville and David Beckham joining up well yet again, and certainly a good cushion header. And look, Michael Owen, if anyone deserves a hat-trick, he does this evening.
Wouldn't it be nice if he went and did what Geoff Hurst did in 1966? Mind you, he might save the third one to the last few seconds. And there won't be people on the pitch this year, that's for sure. Anyway, Heskey now shaping up to try and be the target for this throw from Gary Neuville. Owen's there again, of course, out by Hamann. Germany 3-1 down on their own territory. Hooked forward by Beckham. Last time England won in Germany, 1965, the year before the World Cup. Won 1-0 in Nuremberg. You played in Munich for England, didn't you? You lost 2-1 here, I believe. Rainer Bonhoff free kick.
Yeah, thank you, John. Very much. Actually, we played really well that night as well, but we couldn't just take our chances and they got a late winner. But whatever you say about the Germans, they're defensive throughout this. England, they conceded an early goal. They've come back superbly. Their attacking players been excellent. They've created a lot of chances, and this 3-1 scoreline, if they can hang on to it, will be a superb one. Don't underestimate the quality of it.
Here's Rehmer's cross. Jancker is coming in on it. And Seaman started to come out, then decided not to. Leaving it to the men in front of it. This is Asamoah now, and the whistle's gone because there's a player down with an injury. It's Ferdinand, and the German supporters and players are furious with referee Collina for stopping what was shaping up to be a dangerous attack. But I think he felt the injury was serious enough. At first, yes, as he's saying, the referee, I wasn't to know. And the game was stopped.
No, that's a strike. That is right. Spinning. Kahn actually falling to his right, does well to get his left hand into it, but just hasn't got the power then to stop it.
Well, Owen is in scintillating form, isn't he? 16 goals in 11 club games, or the last 11 club games in which he's played, and now it's a double strike for England.
Well, we mentioned as well, yeah, Michael, I think he would be the first to say thank you very much to Nick Barmby, first of all, the cushion header for his first, and then Emile Heskey, the part he played with the header for the second. Now,
how is Collina going to restart? He'll obviously have to drop the ball, won't he? England have given Ferdinand treatment. He's back on the pitch, and the supporters still whistling their derision at the referee's decision there. This is Rehmer, German supporters, that is. 3-1 to England. Germany now have only one option. And if they do throw caution completely to the wind, well, who knows what might happen at their end. Nowotny. Asamoah with Cole. Referee has penalised Ashley Cole for that challenge. Just a little erratic in his tackling at times. Concedes the free kick, and Germany have taken it. This is Hamann to Nowotny. Linke. Jancker wanting the ball played diagonally. This is Ballack.
To snatch at the shot there. I think it's also important to emphasise, goal difference could well then come into the equation if the scoreline stays like this. 3-1 means that I think it was +8 and +4 before the start, so now they're all square, and so yeah, goal difference is going to be very, very important. Not perhaps if it stays like this in the next two games, Albania on Wednesday and then the Greece game. So you fancy Germany will beat Finland at home here, although tonight you're not so sure, and so then it comes down to who scores the most goals.
Mr. Brooking, our mathematician and our resident bookmaker, has passed me some information. Apparently it was 40-1 this morning against England winning 3-1. Mind you, that might not be the end of the scoring, so if you have got a bet, don't get too excited. And this is the first yellow card. First one, he's saying Emile Heskey, but he's going to be booked. He's claiming it's his first foul, but the yellow card is shown to Heskey.
Yeah, I think it's probably because it's the 2 or 3 from England players that they've had the tackle. That one's just a little sort of stretch. It's the scissors, the second leg coming round to haul him down.
I don't think you can have too many complaints about that, really. Anyway, here's Rehmer. And now it's Nowotny for Germany. Hamann. And we all know he can shoot. Oh, here comes Jancker. And it's away by Beckham for England, who have sandwiched back at the moment in their own half.
Yeah, just a little lull. They're getting everyone goal side. England just weathering the stuff. Got the cushion now, the third goal. But they know it's important not to give the initiative back to Germany. But they're just getting plenty of men back at the moment.
Scholes. Jancker. Neuville! He was well policed there. But the attack isn't over yet. It's Böhme. Ferdinand did some good work. Finally conceded a corner.
Yeah, Ferdinand did well also in the initial attack, where he was the last line of defence, stood on his feet, didn't dive in, and I think it was Neuville who was trying to invite the challenge to perhaps get a penalty.
It's a corner to Germany. Linke is forward. And it's a corner to Germany again on this side. Conceded by Gerard. Deisler will take this one. Asamoah has now joined Rehmer and Jancker in the middle. Asamoah comes in. It's come out to Böhme. Good block. And a good header, actually. It's David Beckham. Captain leading the defensive forces there.
I think he's had an excellent game, much better and more involved than I could have imagined with the injury, doubt, and he's been very threatening. Good link-up play with Gary Neville, I think, from an attacking point of view throughout the game so far. Now helping out defensively. And
also more central at the moment, Trevor Beckham. He did this in Greece, didn't he? Got involved more in the middle part of the field. He's certainly not playing on the right at this very moment.
Now, I think what they've done at the moment is have swapped him and Gerard at present. Whether that's just I'm conscious of Böhme, the left-footed player, who's been getting forward and getting in one or two crosses.
Yes, I think Sven Eriksson has possibly made a tactical change there. Good effort by Deisler. Out of nothing.
You just swap him back again now, though. It might have been just that Gerard got stuck out in the wide, and while he was there, you know, David Beckham there, he continues his jog, and he is now lining back up on that white side. But that's the fluency that you want to try and develop within the side, and the understanding, look, I'm out of position, you fill in for me.
Well, Beckham does take responsibility, doesn't he? And that's one of the things that's been good about his captaincy so far. Asamoah, meanwhile, in the Beckham position, and the German team finds Rehmer. Ballack. And Asamoah again. That's a decent little ball into Deisler. Oh, and Jancker. And, another bad miss. Michael Ballack this time.
It was an excellent move. Asamoah did well. Great ball from Deisler. Unselfish. I thought Jancker might have gone for the goal. He knocked it back deliberately to Ballack. More of a natural left-footer, Ballack, and this ends up on his right side. Look, unmarked, unchallenged, completely sliced.
Just going back to Beckham, Trevor, Steve McManaman is getting ready for action over on the England bench there. I'm just wondering whether that movement of Beckham to one position and then back to another. Anyway, let's hold on. Here's Jancker. You can't get a sentence out in this game. There's so much happening, but I'm trying to suggest that maybe Beckham is just feeling the effects of the injury.
Well, it wouldn't surprise any of us, and he's done well to last, nearly an hour. Also, you've got to remember you've got Albania on Wednesday, where England still have to win. The goal difference could be vital, so they definitely want Beckham fit for that as well.
Here's Rehmer for Germany. Neuville. Hamann. Böhme. Deisler. Well, you can rest assured that most of the play will now be in the England half. And Germany are getting whistled by their own spectators at the moment. But Nowotny does manage to pick out Deisler there. This is Böhme. Neuville in the centre with Jancker. Good defending.
It's good defending. You haven't said that often, but I think more than anything, Germans are pushing England back at the moment.
Here's Rehmer. They are, but England got round the ball well there, and Steven Gerrard, full marks. He tried to pick out Michael Owen with, it wasn't the perfect pass by any means, but it was certainly the ball that was on. And Owen is looking so sharp, you certainly wouldn't back against him scoring a third. But here come Germany with Ballack. This is one of the more exciting and one of the most exciting and unpredictable internationals I've ever had the pleasure of covering. There's so much to talk about.
I think it helps England 3-1 up as well, but it has been very open. I think important phase of the game, next 10 minutes or so, because Germany are definitely just stepping it up. They're looking a little bit more threatening going forward. Asamoah has given them a bit more width on the right-hand side. England got to concentrate, I think, in the next 10 minutes.
Here's Rehmer. Janker's coming in, Seaman's coming out with the punch, and there's a foul given. And I think Seaman is signalling that Jancker has hurt himself quite badly. David Seaman's first concern there was for his opponent. I think he's probably just shaken, but there was a bit of a collision there all round.
Well, he's got a long way to go down, Jancker, hasn't he? Good punch by Seaman, and just as he lands, whether he jars himself or catches the elbow of Seaman, but Seaman commits himself, comes, you've got to get to it then. Oh yeah, he's up forearm, just catches the face of Jancker. That wouldn't have done him a lot of good, but I think he's okay.
Really enjoying seeing that score in the corner of the screen. Here's Nowotny. Beckham. England have 5 forwards up in this attack. That was Michael Owen, who gets a free kick.
Good refereeing again, you know, just paused a few seconds to see whether the header had released Beckham. It didn't, it went out, so he pulls it back for the free kick. I think he's been excellent.
I think he's probably the best referee in the world, this guy. He seems to get the games that FIFA feel are high profile. Beckham will take the free kick. Heskey and Owen waiting to come in. Heskey's there now. Ashley Cole was well forward as well in that little sequence of play.
Yeah, pushed the fullbacks in, but certainly with the 3-1 scoreline, Rio Ferdinand and Sol Campbell decided to stay at the back.
Yes, Cole again making his presence felt on the left, just supporting Barmby, and Asamoah, the substitute, has had to go back into the right fullback position to check him. Now, here in space we have Ballack with Böhme coming up outside him. In the middle, Jancker and Neuville. That's Böhme's cross. It's Cole in defence now. Dietmar Hamann. England have got everybody back apart from Owen. This is Asamoah. And again, will it run out though? Didn't. Ferdinand covering, then it came off Cole, and Germany still have possession. This is worrying. It's Deisler, but it's not now because the cross was too far for either of the strikers to reach.
Certainly getting to the flanks better with Asamoah on this right-hand side, and well, Böhme on the left back is almost playing, you know, as a winger now. So they're certainly trying to get to the ball and get some decent crosses in for the height of Jancker.
Nothing wrong with Beckham's fitness there, it seemed. He was covering a lot of ground to reach that ball. He's still on.
If Beckham does come off, you've got the option of McManaman and Hargreaves, I suppose. With Böhme so effective down the left-hand side, I must say it might be a temptation for Hargreaves ahead of McManaman.
This is Asamoah. He's got Jancker and Neuville on the edge of the area here. Rehmer.
Well, it looks as Steve McManaman's going to be the one, which is a positive attacking.
Here's Jancker. Yes, McManaman wearing number 16, just getting some instructions from the coach. Steve McLaren is there in the background as well for England. Hamann. England are all behind the ball here. They're nicely shaped, and Germany just having to pass it around and wait for the opportunity to get forward, which is good news for England. Rehmer. Ballack. Asamoah takes on Cole. It's a foul by Cole on Asamoah. And we're now going to have the substitution. Nick Barmby is the player going off, to be replaced by Steve McManaman. That's a straight switch on the left-hand side.
Yeah, which again we say David Beckham is having no problem with his injury, and so that's good he's staying on. Nicky Barmby has not sort of been a regular in the Liverpool side. He got an injury tail end of last season. I think he's done a very good job on that left-hand side, but important possibly now to bring Stephen McManaman on just to release from an attacking point of view. Hopefully he can get into the aim quickly.
Well, he's got to defend a free kick to start with, to be taken on this side of the pitch. Jancker coming in. Oh, and Germany were nearly back in it there. He got there first, Carsten Jancker.
Well, we saw against Liverpool last week. He's so strong. Look, backing in there to the goal. Good header in front of Rio Ferdinand. Just couldn't perhaps get the actual glancing header, and in fact got more power. Just missed the target. That was close, though.
Just goes to show that you can never relax. England were... Here's Michael Owen now. England were, what, 2-0 up against Germany in 1970 in Mexico? Lost 3-2. So, don't... Oh, Owen's through again for England. What a chance for the hat-trick here. Owen! Oh, this is getting better and better and better. 1, 2, 3 for Michael Owen. England lead 4-1 in Germany. Pinch yourself, please. Owen gets... Well, they're appealing for offside, the Germans. He's caught them square, and he is lethal.
Well, it's absolutely brilliant. You won't get that match ball off him. Steven Gerrard does brilliant. He wins the ball perfectly, then pass into his stride. Look, he looks up, picks his spot. Again, he gets his hand to it, but he's so confident at the moment. Gerrard releases the ball perfectly. Heskey is offside, but he's not involved at all. Looks up. Where's he going to play it? 4-1. Well.
There's been a German substitution while you've been talking.
I think Ballack's gone off, and it's number 18, Closer, another attacker, but 4-1 down. Goodness me.
Just enjoying watching Michael Owen slot that one in again. But yes, I think it is probably Ballack who's gone off. And Klose is his replacement. But just look at that. Miroslav Klose, 2 goals against Greece and Albania, so he's a bit of a marksman from midfield. And Ballack is the man replaced by him.
And the goal, of course, now puts England ahead on goal difference as well.
England have turned the goal difference round. Well spotted, Mr. Brooking. And this is making the group look very different, isn't it?
Well, there'll be 3 points behind Germany, but a win against Albania on Wednesday would put England actually top of the group.
Thank you for that too. And every angle being covered here by the co-commentator. But this is Rehmer for Germany, who's looking for an angled cross, perhaps. 4-1. Don't know what this is going to do to Rudi Völler's state of health. Hamann to Asamoah, but it's going to be a gigantic victory for Sven-Göran Eriksson by the look of it. Could be the best ever win, certainly in modern times, for England over Germany, certainly since the war.
Well, what a spell he's having this lad. Fantastic finish, got his hat-trick, and the man who knocks it forward, I think his involvement has got stronger and stronger as the game has got on. Gerrard's been a massive presence. Watch the betting that one of the pictures in the next couple of days will be Michael Owen with Jeff Hurst. He's repeated the feat that the West Ham man achieved on that memorable day. Oh, and nearly an unmemorable piece of defending by Campbell. This is Ashley Cole. Heskey is to his right. Somebody said to me, can you get through the commentary without mentioning 1966? You have no chance of that now, is there? Dear, oh dear, what a scoreline. No one in the wildest dreams, I've got to say. I thought England, if they were positive, I think with 2-1 I'd tip, but I mean 4-1, and you still got 20 minutes to go. It's a fantastic scoreline. It's astounding, and it will astound a lot of other nations when they hear this score. And it's all the other World Cup qualifiers being played today. And the German supporters now have just lost faith completely. They're whistling, they're hooting with derision. I think the referee has said play on there as 2 players go down. Deisler trying to find Hamann, who's trying to make room for something, which is anything for Germany to hang on to at the moment. They're really struggling. This is Linke.
night England led Germany 4-1 in Munich. Were you watching? I'm glad you are. Here's Nowotny. Janker's getting on the end of a cross again, unless we're careful. That was Ferdinand who did well to check him. Actually, that was quite an important moment in the game when that Jancker header went just wide. That would have made it 3-2. A minute or two later, Owen made it 4-1. Oh, that's Deisler. In fact, Klose, I think, probably got the final touch there, the substitute.
Again, ball knocked into the penalty. Plenty of celebrations there. I think 4-1 scoreline is fantastic, but I think the other one to remember is the David Seaman save just before England then went 2-1 up. That was a great save from Böhme.
See some Derby County supporters here with their flag. And there are celebrations going on at the England end out of your picture that, well, I didn't know I'd see this. 4-1 up in Germany. They don't mind the rain tonight. Apparently it was 100-1 this morning against a 4-1 win for England. Here's Asamoah. Oh, there's a header down, that chance there for Rehmer, and Seaman comes to make the save. Another let-off for England.
I think it was a good chest down by Klose. Rehmer is more of a defensive player, just was on his heels. Great chest, and he actually, look, he was on his heels, not anticipating. If he'd have kept his run going, which is what Klose spotted, then he would have actually got there comfortably before Seaman. But again, the Germans, few negative thoughts must be going through their mind. They must be absolutely, well, distraught. 1-0 up after 10 minutes, coasting, and there's that 4-1 scoreline.
And when called upon, David Seaman illustrating, reminding everybody that he is still the man for the job. Rehmer. Gary actually started the programme with that statistic, didn't he? 1 defeat in 60 qualifiers. Here's Jancker. Deisler. Didn't expect the run to end, the Germans, quite in this fashion.
They have been poor defensively, but you can only beat what's out there. Not many have. They were 16 points, totally unbeaten. They beat Hungary in a warm-up 5-2 last month, and here they are this evening, 4-1 down. England, from an attacking point of view, have been outstanding.
Lusty singing of the national anthem at the England end. Tonight they'll never forget. Rio Ferdinand to Scholes. Beckham, Scholes again. Now Heskey's to his left unmarked. Emile Heskey, could it be 5? Yes, it is! This is developing into one of the most memorable performances that an England team has put up in recent years. Scholes to Heskey, unmarked again. Rehmer can't get to him. Goalkeeper out. Nicely finished. Listen to this. Germany 1, England 5.
Well, they'll be almost dancing in the streets by now. That was a wonderful ball by David Beckham. Paul Scholes has done a good job. You haven't noticed him too much, but he's worked very hard in midfield. Look at him make the run. That gives the passing option for Beckham. Simple across. Emile Heskey, I thought he'd waited too long, but just calmly tucked it away. 5-1, and, well, just rampant.
Even beats the 4-1 against Holland in Euro 96, doesn't it? That was regarded, that one under Terry Venables, as one of England's best recent performances. But Sven-Göran Eriksson's team have currently gone one better.
There's hordes of German fans walking out of the stadium. What a sight that is. England, with still a quarter of an hour to go, I mean, who knows what the scoreline will be, because if the opportunity is there, the confidence is rippling throughout the team. They're just surging forward. Let's see if we can get another one.
3 for Owen. And now Heskey gets on the mark, his striking partner. who's just come on to almost enjoy himself, I would think, now at this stage. They'll all be enjoying it. Owen again. Scholes. And once more it's McManaman. Germans have lost all shape, and one or two heads have gone down a bit, and there are some cushions being thrown from the stands by disillusioned German supporters. Haven't gone onto the pitch because it's a long way off, but they're showing their displeasure, and England supporters are cheering every move.
Well, it's a little keep-ball session, isn't it? 5-1. Probably Liverpool fans back home would probably be trying to remind us that actually it's Liverpool 5, because they scored all the goals, haven't they? 0-3, Heskey and Gerrard.
Well, when you go out to celebrate after this back at home, please do so quietly, but I can imagine there'll be all sorts of parties after this, because it's a party on the pitch at the moment.
That was even Gerrard taking liberties with his Liverpool teammate Hamann. He went past him 3 times. I wonder if he said something on the 3rd occasion.
Well, it's quite a night for the Liverpool brigade, isn't it? On the England side, have Liverpool players scored all the goals? They have, haven't they? All 5. Had to remind myself there for a minute. There have been so many. Here's Rehmer. Asamoah. It's a bedraggled Germany.
They might have to rethink their schedule to those friendlies in the Far East.
This is Nowotny. Neuville. That's Jancker. Didn't really get hold of his shot, pulled it a bit. Substitution time. Neuville is going off, number 11. And coming on in his place is Sebastian Kehl, the 21-year-old from Freiburg, which is where the under-21s played and won last night. It's a good double this for England, isn't it? Now then, I think there's going to be an England substitution as well. Steven Gerrard being protected a bit here for Wednesday, I would think. And coming on in his place, Owen Hargreaves, the Bayern Munich player, takes the field in his home stadium wearing an England shirt. It's his 2nd cap, and his team already 5-1 up.
Nice time to come on. Gerrard, what's it? 6 games now, 6 victories, isn't it? Still unbeaten in England shirt. And what an input he's had this evening. Quite outstanding.
You're definitely outmanoeuvring me on the statistics tonight, Trevor. There's no doubt about that. This is Beckham. Heskey's moving forward in the centre once again. Here's McManaman. Ashley Cole takes time to get forward as well here. And has a little spat with Hamann, who might get the yellow card here, I think. German number 6. He had a couple of bites at Cole. Yes, he's carded.
He probably thinks he's got to go back to Anfield and face all the English lads then, but that scoreline 5-1. That's going to be tough. Owen Hargreaves, in contrast, can stay here.
Yes. And I think there'll be some Germans having some sleepless nights after this. Never mind what they said about England's hotel being in a loud part of town. Doesn't seem to have had any effect at all on Sven-Göran Eriksson's team. David Beckham, the captain, is about to shape up the free kick. Owen and Heskey on the far side of the area. They're not sending anybody else much forward at the moment. Beckham, in fact, hits the 2 players in the wall. Hargreaves to Neuville. And here's McManaman. My memory tells me, without checking it up while we're commentating, that England did want to get 6 against Germany in one of the early friendlies we played against them, so perhaps there's another target to go for yet. I think there was a 6-3 game, if I'm not mistaken. This is Ferdinand. Sven is something of a Sven-Göran now, isn't he? His team winning 5-1 away in his 7th match as England manager. And the most important one they've played too, really, in that spell.
Well, look, people have suggested some of the other games were not against the strongest of opposition, but I know any international game these days is tough, and you've still got to win and do it well. But this, and the actual manner of the performance, having gone the goal behind, and actually this 5-1 scoreline, the rampant second half now where they've scored those extra goals is really, well, given a warning to every nation, really, that England are beginning with this young side to become a major threat, I think.
Well, they're beating Germany far more comfortably than they beat Albania, Finland or Greece. Quite what that says about England and what it says about Germany, we'll let the panel debate at the end of the game. But for the moment, Emile Heskey racing down the right-hand side. And I'm happy to say that the 6-3 game, I wasn't mistaken, it was played in Berlin in 1938. And if you really want a bit of history, when these probably were more as unofficial internationals, 1909, England won 9-0, but I think that was... Fans leaving, don't want to hear me talk any more about that, do they?
No wonder I didn't remember either of those two games.
Well, it's certainly given us... They've had enough, those German spectators. They are walking out in disgust. The only competitive victory England had before tonight over Germany since the World Cup final was in Charleroi in Euro 2000, and that didn't really mean anything in the end because we didn't qualify. So this is really something to get excited about. This is Scholes. Beckham, his appetite just as good after 82 minutes as it was when they kicked off.
I think consistently it's been one of his best games for England, personally.
Asamoah, yes, we'll come back to that in a moment, because there are one or two performances that in by Deisler that perhaps we need to single out as the last few minutes is upon us. Owen, everybody will want to play on Wednesday, won't they?
Well, there is an offside flag there. I think the key factor now, England need to beat Albania and know they could top the group, because the goal difference now has been totally reversed. England +4 ahead of Germany. That's a key factor now with the thoughts of topping the group. And there's a last substitution.
Yes, it's Jaime Carragher just coming on to replace Paul Scholes in the last few minutes. As the pack is shuffled a little bit, probably with the second game in mind.
We almost just feel the last few minutes have been playing out time. Germany just want that final whistle to go, and England just quite content, not surprisingly, to settle for the 5-1.
Rehmer. Owen shoved off the ball there by Deisler. That's one of the better German moves. But it's the England number 10 who's making the headlines tonight. Paul Scholes, of course, got a hat-trick, didn't he, under Kevin Keegan. And Owen now, with his tally for England, really mounting. It's 13 as things stand. Unlucky for Germany. A little bit of a spat there between Linke and Beckham.
Yeah, it stopped him running to make the challenge. David Beckham still working very hard, but certainly led by example this evening, and his injury has stood up superbly.
It has indeed. Sol Campbell is now standing tall in the penalty area as Beckham shapes to take the kick. He's got Heskey in there as well, and McManaman, and Owen. No, the referee's given a foul against Campbell, I think.
must keep an eye on Michael Owen when that final whistle goes. I should think his first sprint will be straight towards that match ball.
Well, there's no doubt he's earned it, and England have deserved and earned all the plaudits they're going to get tomorrow. Rehmer. Oh, look at that. Well, in 25 years or so of covering the England team, I don't think I've ever been at a match where it's been so uplifting. And all this in the context of a World Cup qualifier. Here's Jancker. Hargreaves. Probably be happier in the central role than in the wide position where he played against Holland. Four minutes plus stoppage time remains in Munich's Olympic Stadium, where England have rewritten the history books. This is Rehmer. Now then, could they just put the sixth goal to this thumping victory? Beckham. Owen's off on a run again. Beckham trying to pick him out. He picks out Heskey instead. Good turn. And he's going to get a free kick. It's been a bit of a nightmare for Linke and Nowotny, hasn't it? We did say that we thought they were vulnerable, but goodness.
Well, I wondered if Nowotny, as a spare man, would help. Certainly Wörns, who went off at half-time, and Linke, who looked poor last week, but just all the three at the back. Rehmer, who went there then instead of Wörns, have all struggled against the pace of Owen and Heskey, who have been magnificent. I think Gerard was brilliant as well just before he went off. And down the right-hand side, Gary Neuville, who hasn't had the best of club form recently, I thought has had an excellent game, linked up very well with his skipper. And that right flank has been excellent, not only defensive, but going forward, they've caused all sorts of problems.
Rehmer. I think a lot of people keep the video of this match. Jancker.
Probably one or two might have been thinking of going out on a Saturday night. Might be a bit late for their appointment. You just couldn't have left this game the way it unfolded.
I can almost hear the cheering from here. Look at that. Just freeze that picture, will you? Asamoah. Germany really now with nowhere to go, and England thoroughly in charge. The way England finished the first half and began the second, really the defining moments in the game, because Gerard putting England 2-1 up in stoppage time at the end of the first half, and then hardly had the second half started, then Owen was in there making it 3-1.
That third guy, I think, is crucial, because you have a team. Völler would have done a lot of work on his side. He just brought Asamoah on. Look, let's pressurise England. Let's get back into this. And suddenly, within 2 or 3 minutes, England get the cushion of the third goal, and all the team talks in the interval then go out the window.
It's a 5-star performance by England in every sense. And what a terrific psychological boost for Sven-Göran Eriksson's team, not just in the context of German opponents, but indeed anybody else that they're likely to meet now.
And just can't take any notice of the previous internationals, can you? Holland go and beat England, and then get Republic of Ireland. Fantastic performance by them today to beat Holland, and England come here and beat Germany 5-1.
Yes, there won't be a result that will attract more attention across Europe, and indeed the world, really, in terms of all the matches being played at the moment. Beckham's going through the middle, and he was onside. Everybody will be sitting up and taking notice of Sven-Göran Eriksson's England. What a contrast to this time last year. And that pouring rain at Wembley when we lost to Germany 1-0. Kevin Keegan resigned. Everything seemed rather flat, especially when England then drew 0-0 in Finland. 1 point from the first 2 games. Here's Jancker for Germany right at the end. The rain here in Munich doing nothing whatsoever to dampen English spirits. They would quite happily stand there for another 90 minutes and see a replay of this.
I haven't mentioned Ashley Cole, we just looked at there. I mean, he's been very steady. Had a bit of a tough time in the Dutch game against Zenden, but yeah, it's all part of that learning experience. But you know, you tend to forget he's so young. He's solved that left-sided problem, hasn't he? And certainly not only at Arsenal as well. He's been excellent again this evening.
Heskey. Well, I've no doubt when you go out for a quiet drink after this game, or perhaps not such a quiet one, you'll be trying to put this into context as to where it stands among the best English performances of this generation. It'd be a healthy argument for you to have with friends tonight. And what about the Germans? Where do they go from here?
Well, you just hark back to that statistic before the game. What, you know, 1 defeat in 60 matches qualifying, and that was against Portugal, who'd already got through. So to win 5-1, well, there it is.
And on that very suitable note, the final whistle goes. Sven-Göran Eriksson's team become only the 2nd side ever to beat Germany in a World Cup qualifier, the first time they've lost in a meaningful one, and it happens in their own stadium in Munich, where they were unbeaten for 28 years. So lots of stories to follow up here, lots of statistics, one of them being Michael Owen's hat-trick. That will certainly put him back in the headlines. David Beckham got through the game, it appears, without any reaction to his groin injury, and led the side to a fabulous, famous victory. No, you didn't dream it, I promise. England have won 5-1 in Germany. Adam Crozier, the chief executive of the FA, who was very instrumental in the appointment of Sven-Göran Eriksson, congratulates the coach. Beckham acknowledges the supporters. It's a night when you can be proud to be English. And goodness me, he'll enjoy doing those interviews after the game, won't he?
Todd Grip, his assistant there, also embracing him.
And German faces a picture of misery as they walk off. Robbie Fowler congratulating Michael Owen, who's already swapped his shirt. And they're just starting the jubilant celebrations that will go on well into the night here. 5,500 official ticket holders. Many, many more who got tickets from other sources, and they'll all be glad they did now. It's a night to say you were there, or a night to say that you were watching. And that sums it up, really. Owen's hat-trick, Gerald and Heskey, the other England scorers. And all this after Germany took the lead in the first few minutes of the game. An extraordinary night of football in Munich.
And who could believe the result? Sven-Göran Eriksson will go down in English folklore for this historic victory. Michael Owen's hat-trick performance emulated that of Geoff Hurst in the '66 World Cup final and helped put England in a very healthy position in Group 9. The win put them 3 points behind Germany, but with a crucial game in hand. And thanks to their emphatic scoring, a significantly healthier goal difference than their rivals. A win in the next match at home to Albania would see England top the group and surely qualify automatically. So the players were understandably buoyant.
It's the real thing, and we've enjoyed the night, but we know now we've got to focus on the big game on Wednesday.
You know, we know we're a good team, but you know, it was about time we really showed it, and I think tonight we did.
Talk us through that goal. It was something special.
To be honest with you, Rio Ferdinand deserves some credit for that, because I asked him to set it as the ball's come over, and he set it up perfect for me, so I've chested it down and I've hit it, and it's just kept in the bottom corner.
And the timing was right just before half-time?
Yeah, it was a great time to score, to go in 2-1 up, give the lads a boost at half-time. We come out and played a lot better than them in the second half. We were worthy winners in the end.
Yeah, it's great to score a hat-trick, obviously, but at 1-1, David Seaman pulls off a world-class save, and maybe if he hadn't have done that, then we were 2-1 down at half-time. So, things like that change, and somebody on the pitch has got to do something, and thankfully David Seaman did it tonight. But obviously the 10 outfield players played their part as well. Don't need me to say that I was going to score a hat-trick. It's obviously down to the other players as well.
I said earlier during the week that we didn't come over here to get a draw, and we proved that tonight. We've gone 1-0 down in the first 10-15 minutes, and we just had to show a little bit of character to get back in the game, and this team's got so much character, within the lads, and it showed that out there.
And in the dressing room now, confidence that, England can go on next
We've
year.
always been confident, since Sven took over, we've had some great results. The old one, a little bit disappointing, but if we build on this now and win our next 2 qualifiers, we'll qualify, I think.
I've always said that the confidence between the whole squad is absolutely excellent. No one, dislikes anyone. Everyone gets on with everyone, and that's the way it should be. And it showed that they're the team spirit.
Yeah, it was a very good evening, of course. I always said, and I always believed that we could beat Germany, but I couldn't believe that we should do it 5-1, and I think it was maybe too much. The difference in this game was not so big, but we played very well. We were very gifty in every time we could do a counter-attack, scored beautiful goals, and once again showed that we have a very good spirit. We were down 1-0, didn't play very well the first 5-10 minutes, but then for every minute we played better and better, and a big evening, and congratulations to the team and all the squad, and thank you to my staff also.
Neuville to Jancker! It's a goal for Germany! Michael Owen yet again for England! Gerard. Oh, it's in, yes! Heskey. Oh, heads it down, Owen again! Oh, Owen's through again for England. What a chance for the hat-trick here. Owen! Oh, this is getting better and better and better! Goals again now. Heskey's to his left unmarked. Emile Heskey, could it be 5? Yes, it is!
We hope that you've enjoyed reliving this fantastic match as England look forward to a prosperous future under the guidance of Sven-Göran Eriksson. Goodbye.